Welcome to Talk Birdie to Me with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn and Tour Pro Mark Allen, live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our great partners, Hostplus, the official retirement partner of Talk Birdie to Me. Driving a BMW is like hitting the perfect shot. Smooth, controlled and powerful. Titleist, the clear number one ball in golf. FootJoy, the number one shoe and glove in golf. Better, when the greats bet, they bet with Better. And the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Now, here's Nick and Mark.
G'day everybody, welcome to the program. We're again at Titleist FootJoy headquarters, and Nick, I am heartbroken, mate.
Heartbroken?
I am
What?
heartbroken.
Okay, go on.
And I'll tell you why. I loved the US Amateur so much over the weekend.
So did I. How good was Merion?
Merion was the star of the show as usual when it's played at a storied golf club like that.
Yep.
But just the lead up to it, the qualifying, the match play.
Match play. I'm a sucker for match play. You know me.
I know you are. I know you are.
Well, the contrast in the final was fascinating too. You had Jack Whaley, the Englishman, who only just snuck into the qualifying, by the way. He was in a playoff, wasn't he? Like a 16
11 for 16 playoff, something like that.
And then this young American amateur, Jay Ling Jr.,
who's been dominating.
Who, when I watched in the semi-final, it was the first sort of time I started having a look, I thought, this guy, no way.
I was with you.
Have a look at this swing, the putting stroke.
The putting.
Oh, my gosh.
Can I tell you about the putting stroke? Because I'm watching the putting stroke and it's a jab and he moves his head and he looks up quick. Like
it's a full-on sway.
It's a trifecta of exactly how you miss putts.
Yes.
But he's the hottest ticket
I know,
down at the moment.
And he holds everything.
So good luck to him. We love it. We love it.
You know what that gives hope to? Every amateur out there who has the same putting stroke. Because I've seen this stroke many times and it never works, but apparently it does.
It does. Well, you know what they did? Apparently he was at Augusta before the tournament for the kids. They have the drive, pitch, chip and putt tournament. They had him winning the putting section of this when he was about 8 or 9 years old.
Oh, awesome.
And they said, now, I want you to have a look at his putting stroke because it hasn't changed, right? So they show him as an 8-year-old.
So he's done it all along. It hasn't deteriorated.
His 8-year-old putting stroke, he took it back, his head moved forward, he hit the putt and he looked up quick and went straight in the hole. And then they showed him what he's doing at the US Amateur final. Exactly the same thing was going on. And the commentator goes, isn't that great? I just love that he's kept his putting stroke exactly the same. I'm thinking, what are you talking about, mate? Surely you can develop the stroke from your 8-year-old putting stroke into something sensational. I mean, the guy who won, Whaley, my God, he had a beautiful swing and a beautiful putting stroke. You would think it would evolve, but this kid's putting stroke hasn't evolved one bit.
Yeah.
And he's won everything over the US summer, like literally just about everything.
Well, he won the Western Amateur and he was going for the double. I think only 9 players in history have ever won the Western Amateur and the US Amateur in the same year, like Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, those sorts of players. But I remember watching the semi-final with this Jay Ling Jr. and the other guy, I really felt for him because he had that magnificent game, swinging it beautifully, gives it a twirl every now and then, and he's getting his ass kicked by this other fellow American who just does not look the goods, but he knows how to get the ball in the hole, and he's one of those typical American players who I remember seeing on mini tours. You think, no way this guy can play, but he signs for a 66.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Sometimes when you play in those mini tour events, just going back.
Oh yeah.
And you see the guy take a few practice swings and you go, what the hell is he doing here? And you sign for your 68, because they're always easy courses, these little players. You sign for your 68 and he's shot a 64. And you scratch your head on the way to the scorer's hut and you pass the cards across and you go, how the hell did this bloke just shoot 64? I don't know. But going back to it, isn't it amazing? You watched the match play event at Merion and you wouldn't have known one of these kids at the start of the week.
No.
Not one of them. I ended up watching much more of the match play event at Merion than Scottie Scheffler dominating. I want to talk about him in a second because when I think he was number 2 for proximity to the hole and number 1 putting, and when he's like that, you can't beat him. But I didn't watch that tournament until the very end.
Well, that was a cakewalk in the end.
But even on during the quarterfinals and the semifinals, I was watching the US Amateur because it's gripping. It's at a storied golf course.
You see the crowds.
The crowds walking the fairways always look sensational. Now, I remember, so this is what I want to talk to you about. I remember when I was a kid. Actually, Dan, could you quickly look up what year Wayne Smith won the Australian Amateur?
Sure.
Wayne Smith.
He was from my club, Mount Lawley.
Was he?
Yeah. And ever since I've known Wayne, as a youngster, in his 20s or whatever, he always had grey hair.
Yeah, well, he had grey hair then. I couldn't believe he must have been a young fella. I reckon, Dan, it was 1982 or 83.
Mm-hmm.
So that means I was either 12 or 13 years old.
83.
83. Thank you, Dan.
There you go. I was 12.
You're right. So I was 83, I was 14. So I watched that. I watched it. He played at Commonwealth. Am I right? I think I'm right.
Where was the tournament?
Yeah, have a look. I know you just had it up.
Yeah, Commonwealth, yeah.
Commonwealth? On ABC TV.
Seriously?
Yeah, it was on ABC TV.
Wow.
That's 1983. That's 37 years ago or something like that. 43.
43.
Thank you. 40. That's 40.
Math's not a strong point today.
No wonder. Did you use the magic pencil in your day?
Having trouble spelling, and I'm having trouble with my mathematics.
An issue for a pro golfer.
Anyway, that's 43 years ago. What's happened?
Yeah. Well,
I mean, here is an opportunity. And
it always used to be match play.
It was always.
I actually looked. I was trying to figure out the other day when I was watching the US Amateur. I thought, I know we're 72 holes of stroke play now. When did we stop? And I think it was 2020 or 2021. It went to stroke play, and then I thought, where did they play this year? And I looked it up, and it was at the West Australian Golf Club, or Yokine as we call it, and Wanneroo. I think they did it over those two courses. Now,
and it was 72 holes.
72
stroke
holes
play.
Stroke play. Yeah, Billy Dowling won, and Jazzy Roberts. So
that's right.
Very good players.
Terrific.
But yeah,
it doesn't have the same. I mean, it's not even close. Let's face it. It's not even close. So I just don't understand what has happened. Why, back in 1983, could I watch Wayne Smith, who was a hell of a bloke, one of my favourites, Wayne Smith win an amateur championship on TV, and these days it's a stroke play event that no one cares about. And I say that with the greatest respect. I do, because I know, look, Golf Australia, I should actually do my top five. Golf Australia decisions that should be turned back, or have been, or should be turned back.
Do you need to call?
Can I do that later?
Denis Denuto.
No.
Okay.
I might do it in the break. I don't know.
Okay.
But we just need to do a U-turn here. Do the 180, and let's get both amateur championships somehow on the TV. It can be packaged up. You know, because there's only one match, you don't need nearly as many cameras. You're just following one match, maybe two on the same day.
I think the British amateurs match play, the US amateurs match play. Why are we stroke play? Was there a reason for it?
Money. It'll only be there'll only be one reason, and it will be finance.
I moved back to Australia in 2019 after living in the US, and I just joined Woodlands.
Yeah,
and I thought, I've heard the final of the match plays. I'm going to go watch.
Yeah, that's right.
If it was stroke play, it wouldn't have gone.
No way.
But it was Nathan Barbieri against an Irishman, Connor, someone, and I think the Irishman won. But it was fantastic. The crowds were out there. They were loving it. So anyway.
That's right. Now, just as you put your thinking cap on, all right, because, you know, we don't have too many Merions, all right? Our best tracks, a lot of them, you know, to give up a weekend, it's not going to happen. But there would be other golf courses around the country somewhere, you know, maybe just a little bit off Broadway, like Woodlands Golf Club,
Woodlands
which
is a great example.
It's a great example.
Amazing golf course.
What? Give me like a Cottesloe or Mount Lawley.
Oh, Mount Lawley in a heartbeat.
In Perth.
I think that's the number one course in WA now.
That's right. How about Kooyonga in South Australia?
Perfect.
How about Brisbane Golf Club in Brizzy?
Yep.
Or, you know, maybe we go, what's the golf course we had an Australian Open on, and Adam Scott's a member there. It's got trees. The Grand. How about going to the Grand, you know, and showcasing these courses?
7 Mile, maybe.
That's right. Yeah. And basically, and by the way, you know, if we've only got 2 championship matches, the girls and the boys, that's it. the members can still play. If you're desperate for a game on that day, the course is still very available. But God, it just broke my heart to see where the Australian Amateur once was, to see where it is today.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those decisions that needs to be turned around.
You sent a picture of the future venues for the US Amateur, right?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at those because I'm curious now.
If you can put them both up, Dan, because I'm going to turn that into my Hostplus. That is a plus for golf.
Oh.
Because when you see both these championships, I mean, obviously they've got more cash and they can do all kinds of things in America, but we can learn from them a little bit. And look at that. Look at the next 10.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Pinehurst. For the women.
Read out the girls.
Because
and who's that? That's Asterix Tally?
Asterix Tally, who won the previous week. Yeah, she's a heck of a player too, by the way.
So where are the next 10?
So for the women, it's Pinehurst, number 2.
Tick.
Rayburn Country Club.
Never heard.
Don't know that one. Oakland Hills.
Tick.
Very good. The Olympic.
Tick.
Baltimore Country
Tick.
Club. Bandon Dunes.
Tick.
Erin Hills.
Yep.
The Country Club in Utah. Atlanta Athletic Club in Inverness.
Yeah, there we go.
Pure. And then the boys, you want to see the boys?
Yeah,
We've
go
got
on.
Oak Hill,
Yep.
Whistling Straits,
Yep.
Inverness,
Yep.
Atlanta Athletic, phenomenal. The Honours Course, which is where the women just
Yes.
played, that looked really good.
Looked
it's in
fabulous. Yes, looked really
Tennessee. Bandon Dunes, Chambers Bay, Country Club, Massachusetts, Erin Hills, Scioto Country Club. So phenomenal.
So that just the USGA announcing that.
So they know
even
where
though
the next 10 tournaments are.
both championships.
Gosh.
That is a plus for golf. Now, that's just something to look forward to. Now, I'm not saying Golf Australia, let's name the next 10. How about we just name the next 3? Name the next 2.
Where is it in 2027?
I don't know.
I'll look that up.
But look, remember Matty Goggin, our mate down at 7 Mile Beach. Remember what he did with his course? That's where they're going to have the Tasmanian Amateur Championship.
Right.
They're going to have it there. The match play is going to be there. How about, if we get Darius Oliver thinking a little bit laterally,
Ooh.
and all of a sudden the South Australian Amateur Championship is at the Cliffs on Kangaroo Island, or even better, what a place, what a venue, if it gets up and going, to have the match play and have that televised.
Yeah.
So some of the other courses right around the country, just to have the match play. So, it might take 3 or 4 days, but on the Saturday and the Sunday, when there's only the semis and the finals on, the golf course can still be used. I mean, basically, you're only going to close the golf course down on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, no, look, the
Because
members,
of numbers, who cares?
I don't think the members would mind if you've got the best future stars that are about to.
That's right.
Usually, the players that win these events. Take the Master of the Amateurs for example. We've had Sahith Thagala win.
That's right.
Aaron Weiss, they're playing
That's
on
right.
the PGA Tour.
That's right.
But the Aussie Amateur, obviously, you've had players like Cam Smith won and Cam Davis, and they they're out playing. So everyone loves seeing who these next generation players are. I used to see it at a tournament at Isleworth. They had the Isleworth Invitational.
Right.
And it was the college players loved this event because they made it feel like a tour event.
That's right.
And whoever won that, basically 2 or 3 years later, you'd see him out on tour. Colin Morikawa, John Rahm, Jordan Spieth won it one year.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
Well, just talking about that, making it feel like a tour event. Our great sponsor, Southern, they host the Master of the Amateurs.
Yes.
And, I've been thereabouts with the Master of the Amateurs for a long time. It's always been in Victoria. But every time I've been a guest there or played in the AmPro or whatever, you drive through and they've got the names of the winners. They've got flags all over the place. The Master of the Amateurs makes it feel like you're at a tour event.
Yeah.
And it was on TV. Remember last year? Remember how windy it was on the last day?
That's right, yeah.
It was crazy windy on the last day. So the Master of the Amateurs,
They packaged it up beautifully.
they somehow packaged that up. So
Okay.
that's why my heart's broken, because I know that if our amateur got up and going, both of them, if our amateur got up and going again and you had 2 championship matches, I mean, that's the time to do a mixed event, not at both Australian Opens, have both Australian amateur finals on at the same venue, package it up, it would be a hit. It would be a hit. And
Well,
it would be worth the money. Whatever the cost, it would be worth the money.
I hope they can mend your broken heart in the years to come.
I am.
Mark.
I've got a broken heart, and I've decided that I am going to do my top 5 decisions that should be turned around or have already been turned around that Golf Australia have made. So hang
Lucky
around.
we have, as you say, Nick, Denis Denuto on retainer these days, just to deal with Mark's comments.
Okay, so broken heart sorted. Okay. Now, let's get to some news.
Yes.
Because I've got an insider. And
Well,
you
you've
know
got
who my insider is at LIV Golf.
I do, yes.
And
okay.
Can I just read his last message?
Go on.
Mate, absolutely never drop my name to anyone. Okay. So I've already broken his trust by showing you.
No, but I kind of had an inkling anyway.
Yeah, okay. So this kind of goes into rumour file style territory.
Okay.
This is the message I got, verbatim.
Was this today, yesterday?
This morning, as I'm driving in, yeah.
Okay.
Supposedly the purse for this week's LIV tournament is only 12 million tops.
12 million. It's normally 20.
Players don't know.
Oh, okay.
Now, I suggest to you, when the players find out, that's going to be a rather big issue.
Well,
there's been no mention of that whatsoever anywhere.
Anywhere.
That's
so,
almost
like
half.
I said,
Okay.
I'm giving you this, but I'm giving it to it with the knowledge that this fella
would know.
It would know. That's right. He doesn't work there anymore, but he would know. He goes on, all falling apart, mate. I don't see how 2.0 happens when clearly they are going to lose star players. Apparently, players haven't even been paid from Bedminster. Now, that's significant because when you play in a professional tournament, the check that you make for prize money is always paid on the Monday and Tuesday, pretty much straight after. I remember the dark old days when I first turned pro, you used to turn up at the next event, sign in for the next event, they'd actually give you a check.
A check, yeah.
You would actually get a check.
I've still got my first check I ever won for winning the Rottnest Pro-Am. It's framed. It's at
Have
home.
You?
Yeah.
How much did you make?
I did bank it, but I took a photocopy of it because I needed the cash. $750.
$750.
It was more money than I.
That was good. I think Jack Nicklaus has got his first check. It was $33.33.
I remember that. Yeah.
Anyway, so the significant part is that professional golfers need to be paid straight away because not all of them, Rory McIlroy or Scottie Scheffler, a lot of professional golfers around the world are living on the edge and they need that money as soon as possible so they can pay their hotel the next week or their rent a car the next week or their caddy needs to get paid. So there's a whole stack of reasons why players need. Now, it's not as important in LIV because we know they get retainers.
They're not living on the edge, but
that's right. They get
at the
retainers.
same time, money is money. And
well, if that prize money had always been paid straight after a LIV event, your prize money, right? For instance, so
I always thought they got paid quarterly in LIV, but maybe not.
The understanding is, Nick, that the quarterly payments was retainer.
Okay, gotcha.
But prize money,
that makes sense.
Prize money is still straight after. That's my understanding, and that does make sense.
As it should be.
So, for instance, Elvis Smiley, he wins a tournament, won the tour, did quite well in the team's event. $6 million is in the next day. Whatever his retainer is, that's paid quarterly.
Yep.
Now, after last week's show, of course, all the news came out, Nick.
Yeah.
Like it does every single week.
Yeah.
Apparently, the big white knight sponsor still hasn't been named, but the more you read last week and the more you listen to other podcasts last week that dropped after ours, is that maybe it's not a white knight. Maybe it is just a loan.
Maybe.
To get this LIV 2.0 up and going.
Well, the team championship is now cancelled. So this week's event for LIV, they've changed the format now that whoever wins the team event this week wins the team championship for the year.
Who are our guys?
Can you imagine?
Who are our guys?
Can you imagine if the Majestics get up, who have finished basically second last or last every week, except the last couple of weeks, rounding into form?
If they had some out of the box and they took it all. They were the champions for 2026.
Because the Crushers have just dominated all year.
And they,
Legion 13.
They get a reasonable start, don't they? That's the way it works in the team championship. That
They get a bye or something like that.
Yeah, somehow seeded, so they get it.
It's such a that's actually my favourite event of the year, and my favourite event on LIV they've now cancelled, so we can't even watch it. So, which is a shame. But that sort of tells the tale of what's going on. And then you've got the whole Jon Rahm saga. I mean, it almost comes down to him at the moment.
Yeah,
because the two main guys are Rahm and Bryson.
And Bryson desperately wants it to go. He wants it up and going.
Yeah,
Rahm,
he's staying pretty quiet at the moment. He has to make a choice because I think his contract is up at the end of this year. Now, they're talking player equity, but do you buy into player equity without any guarantees of anything? Because the money that he's owed, he's probably not going to get. So they'll take it in equity, but I don't know. Do you take equity in a sinking ship?
No,
probably not.
Well, it's not equity, is it?
No.
If the ship sinks, then your equity does it become debt? Or is your debt covered in the contract you sign? If it
I don't know.
completely goes pear-shaped, I don't know. I know Jon Rahm's pretty comfy because the $350 million US contract, which was over 4 years, is our understanding. He got the $150 million of that up front. So
he's not struggling.
He got 150 up front,
and he's probably won another
then 50 million,
or 60.
50 million a year.
He's doing okay.
He's gone okay. He's probably he sucked enough money out of that system where he can comfortably move back and play the PGA Tour if he so wishes.
Well, yeah, the issue for him is where's he going to play, and next up it's either DP World Tour. He has paid his fines and done that.
Yep.
Now DP World Tour are now ending this whole pay your fines and you can come back. They're just cutting it off, saying no, you're not going to be able to come back at the end of this year.
We gave you a chance.
Yeah. So next year you're either here or you're not, and you're not coming back. One or the other. You can't play both, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
The PGA Tour for Rahm is an interesting one because remember he went after they'd already signed that framework agreement.
That's right.
So he went with the idea of I'm going to take as much cash as I can, but I'm going to unite the two tours.
That's right.
This is going to bring everything together. It unfortunately didn't do it. He tried to push them a little bit, and the players that stayed loyal, I guess, to the tour, as you might say, are probably going to go, no, you can't come straight back into the fold. Maybe they'll make him pay more fines than Brooks did, for example. Who knows? But we're at an interesting crossroads, as always. We seem to be at a crossroads every week with LIV, don't we?
Yeah. Well, look, it's funny, he's exempt in the majors, which count on the DP World Tour.
Mm-hmm.
So if he actually just goes back and plays the DP World Tour, let's say he has a great year in the majors, gets enough points to finish in the top two, like Rory McIlroy, he seems to play in a handful of tournaments on the European Tour and lead their order of merit every year.
Yeah.
And it's because of what he plays. I think the Players' Championship counts. The Players, those 5 tournaments count on the DP World Tour, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
And that's why someone like Rory can play in a handful of extracurricular DP World Tour events, apart from the majors. So he ends up playing in 12 events.
Gets his
and leads the order of merit.
Yeah.
Almost.
I saw this week. They've taken him off the stats list on the PGA Tour because he hasn't played enough events to be eligible.
Who, Rory?
Yeah, Rory.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Which is kind of funny in a way.
That is funny.
He was like leading the driving or something, and now he's no longer on there because
you haven't played enough events, and that's fair enough. That's the way it should be. But going back, my point is, if his worst option was to go back to the DP World Tour, if he has a good season in the majors and the Players' Championship, which I'm sure he'd be eligible for as a top 100 player if all the bumper bars were come down, if he's gone back and played in the DP World Tour events, then a top 10 finish on that order of merit and then back into maybe the championship in 2028.
It'd be interesting if they go to the championship or the challenger, the two tiers. So,
what would you do? Okay, so what's palatable for the American players?
I think
how do we organise the championship players for 2028?
Well, they've got 10 that go over, right? 10 that go over. I'd say you're probably going to take 1, 2, or 3 into the championship, and the others go to the challenger. I'd say that's probably a way to do it. Now, the challenger, they're playing for $4 million US a week. Now, on the DP World Tour, that's probably their upper end of the purses. They're playing for around 3 per week, I would imagine, 3 to 3.5. So, yeah, it's a decision to be made for each individual player.
Well, I think that's the logical way. And I think America would be weighted more, that promotion relegation might change a little bit to where maybe 20 from the challenger in America go up and 10 from Europe go up, or maybe 25-5, or maybe just a different way of doing things like that. But they'll weight that right. I think Jon Rahm, my best bet, I think he'll be playing the DP World Tour next season.
I think so as well. For him, though, he lives in the US, so it's going to be a fair bit of travel, but hey, got a private jet, that's fine.
That's okay. Private jetted for a year, he's done quite well. If Jon Rahm goes, just quickly, if Jon Rahm goes and some of the other players disappear, I think it's all done and dusted, isn't it? LIV 2.0. I mean, if they don't get a sponsor, if it's a loan and the players actually understand that it's a loan, surely they go, hang on a second.
It's not looking good.
Where's my escape route here? Where am I parachuting to?
Well, some of the younger players like Sasso and others, I heard they started entering DP Q School, just trying to look for where to play next year.
Sorry, Nick, and to repeat that news, Mark, that you broke earlier on, if the purse has essentially been cut by nearly half and the players do not know about that yet, they will pretty soon.
Okay, well, that's a watch. So, I said...
They all listen to Talk Birdie to me. So
they do. So, look, that is a watch. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying that it has actually happened, but someone who is in the business has told me about it. So, we'll see.
Your sources are generally reliable.
Thanks for the generally.
You were very excited about watching what Scheffler was doing at the weekend, weren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
He was putting beautifully.
Well, the 33 putts, I mean, you tell people what your body language would be like if you walked off any round of professional golf after having 33 putts.
Well, he did shoot a couple under, I think.
Yeah, you'd be filthy.
But he's striping it and you're just going, I cannot buy a thing.
You would be filthy.
And then the next 3 rounds, he lit the greens up and he was +9, I think, strokes gained for the week.
Yeah, I was desperately, last night I grokked myself to death for about an hour.
Geez, that sounds wrong.
Grokked myself to death.
Well, I did. Well, I'm paying $50 a month for Super Grok. You'd reckon I'd be able to find out how many putts he had in rounds 2, 3, and 4, but I couldn't. But I'm going to guesstimate. I reckon he's had 33 putts in the first round. The second round, I did find out where he
shot
had
61.
He had 13 1-putts.
Oof.
So do the maths there. So he's had 23 putts. All right, Tiffany didn't have a 3-putt. So he's gone from 33 to 23. In the last 2 days, I saw enough to see that he's had probably 28 and 27 and just striped it on the weekend. Yeah. He hardly missed a shot, from what I could tell.
He was in cruise mode again and
did you see the only
walked to an 8-shot win.
Dan, I hope you've got it there. I sent it. Did you see his only bogey on the last day?
Oh, I did.
It was on a par 5.
So unlucky.
He's gone rip. Exactly where you want it. There's a water hazard on the right-hand side of this green.
Yeah, so you're in the bunker short left.
Bunker short left. There's no issue whatsoever for a star like Scheffler. And that's his shot. It hit a sprinkler tap. I mean, the only place it couldn't work.
Yeah. Have you ever seen anything like that before? I saw it once. I remember playing... It was either the WA Open or the Johnny Walker Classic at Lake Carrinup, the 17th, the par 3.
Yeah.
My playing partner, I can't remember who it was, hit a beautiful shot, sort of right edge of the green, drawing in, and all of a sudden, bung! Yeah. Just bounced off a sprinkler head, over the back, out of bounds.
Over the back, yeah.
It was crazy.
The only time I've seen it, it was this crazy. I was playing a Queensland Open, and my cousin Nick Morey was caddying for me, and he was actually visiting. He didn't want to. He had enough of caddying. He wanted me to miss this cut, so he was cheering for me to miss putts. That was my cousin. Anyway, we're playing with some bloke. God knows who it was, some amateur who'd qualified for the Queensland Open, and there's this famous hole that goes right around this kind of island, and he hit a drive. And it must have hit the left-hand side of a sprinkler tap, and it kicked into the water. Oh, it was the most vicious,
that's horrible,
disgusting kick I've ever seen. So I've seen that before. Yeah,
well, Scheffler, as you say, he just striped it. Someone who reached out, and we're going to get him back on, is Jonathan Yarwood, the coach. Hey. Now, yesterday we had Claude Harmon on. By the way, what a fantastic episode that was, and the detail he went into about Tiger and all these players, and Cam Smith especially.
You and I only had to ask 4 questions.
It wasn't
50
many.
minutes.
He just kept going. It was great.
It was great. He just emptied out his pockets for us on that great special. So if you haven't listened to that or watched it, go back and have a look. It's a ripper.
Yeah, incredible listen and watch. But Jimmy reached out and we want to talk about Scottie Scheffler's swing because he's been watching it and looking at it, and he's got some great insights to it. So in the next few weeks, I'm trying to work to get him on because it'll be another fascinating chat from one of the best coaches in the world.
Because I still think he'd only just make it into the Kingston Heath Bennett team, the way he swings the club. So I would love Jonathan Yarwood to explain how it works.
He certainly would.
Touch of Class.
Driving a BMW is like hitting the perfect shot.
Well, that is pure magic.
We have a slightly sad touch of class this week for BMW. Unfortunately, a young 18-year-old golfer from Australia, Jessica Bang, passed away in Thailand last week, suffering a brain hemorrhage, I believe. So one of those just out of the blue, weird incidences. And she was there trying to qualify for the KLPGA Q School in Bangkok. Very sad news, but I saw Whitney Hillier was playing the Ladies Swiss Open, and she was interviewed after one of her rounds, and I thought this was an absolute touch of class from Whitney speaking about Jessica.
Before your event, you had another motivation behind this week to play well. Just explain a little bit about that, because there was a tragic passing, wasn't there?
Yeah, one of the WPGA girls, Jessica Bang, she unfortunately passed away suddenly. She was entered to play KLPGA Q School in Thailand, and she's not with us anymore, and she's only 18. Didn't know her very well, but met her through the Aussie summer this year, and such a sweet player, and already won as well. You know, she was on a good start already to her career, and yeah, it just puts things into perspective. And again, I'm incredibly grateful that I'm fit and healthy, and you know, I'm playing for her this week. So yeah, I guess the putts are dropping for her. So.
From Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, this is Talk Birdie to Me. We're here for BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Hostplus, the official retirement partner of Talk Birdie to Me. The golf clearance outlet, they beat everyone's prices. And better, ahead of the game. Now for Titleist, the number one ball in golf, and FootJoy, the number one shoe and glove in golf. Here's Nick and Mark.
Okay, time to get this top 5 over and done with, and I've got to try and organise a soft landing here, Nick, somehow. So
I'm a little worried about this one, Mark.
This week's top 5 is my top 5 decisions that Golf Australia has made that aren't much good. Some of them have been turned around. Okay,
good.
So some of them have been turned around, and when those, I'll give them a lot of credit.
Yes.
Because it's nice when you've made a bad decision along the way and you turn it around and then everything's honky-dory again and we all move on.
Hey, we all learn from our mistakes.
That is exactly right.
As a pro golfer, I know I've made plenty.
Well, I've made 1,000,
Yes.
not only in a media career, but also 1 million in my professional career.
Possibly about to make another one.
Possibly about. Yes. Dan, you are spot on.
When the greats bet, they bet with better. Top 5, top 5, top 5.
The top 5 for better. When the greats bet, they bet with better.
Top 5, top 5, top 5.
At number 5, this is my pet hate.
Okay.
In any Open Championship, we are still playing in threes on Saturday and Sunday in the Australian Open.
Okay, could not agree more with you there.
Please.
That is tough.
I don't care if the people running the event miss out on their breakfast because they have to get up early because they're playing in twos. I could not give a stuff, all right, if Andrew Langford-Jones gets his knickers in or not because he couldn't get scrambled eggs at 7 a.m. It doesn't matter. You play in twos in the Australian Open on Saturday and Sunday.
1 tee start.
1 tee start.
I remember back. Was this another one, was it?
It's
was this
a little bit later.
Okay,
a little bit later. At number 4, this is an interesting one. The scheduling of an Australian Open at a golf course that nobody has played.
Oh.
North Adelaide.
North Adelaide coming up.
Coming up. So there's a big construction. Now,
I understand why they've done it.
Yeah, I get why they've done it too. And I know that there is a plan in the background.
I mean, you were talking earlier about announcing future venues. Well, they're announcing that, so we give them credit.
Thanks for putting some cushions under this landing.
I'm just
Nick, I appreciate it. It's very good of you.
Squirming over here.
But in retrospect, I think it's a poor decision to say we're going to play this golf tournament at this golf course and no one's played it and it's still been built and they're having all kinds of trouble removing trees. People don't like trees being removed.
There's been a few protesters, haven't they?
Yeah.
They have?
Although they need to remove some of these trees because they have to. So, by the way, I think, is it Royal Adelaide? Would be...
Well, Royal Adelaide's
no-brainer. Would be a nice one. Anyway, so that's my number 4.
Okay.
At number 3, this can really get me in trouble, this one. But I'm going to go with it anyway.
Okay.
The Kingston Heath Australian Open about to be played.
Oh.
Not finishing on the actual finishing holes when our actual finishing holes are just about the best stretch of finishing holes in the country. That's a mistake.
So they're doing it like the President's Cup. Is that correct?
And we get why they do that.
So the President's Cup is saying basically most matches finish around the 16th. So they're finishing on the best holes they think, right?
They finish for just around the clubhouse, which is the hub.
The 16, 17, 18 is going to be 15, 16, 17 in the President's Cup.
I think 16, 17, 18 are going to be 1, 19 and 6.
Oh, okay. Now I'm totally confused.
And this is the reason why the Australian Open not playing the way it should be is wrong. Because so many people have played Kingston Heath. People are from international. They've come to play Kingston Heath and they'll remember 16 over the hill, tea tree either side, dogleg double green. 17, a blind second shot, the hardest green on the golf course to read. And 18, you got the bunkers on the left coming. They'll remember that. All of a sudden, I think it's going to be the way it finishes, Nick, is 4, 5, 6, which is not the finishing holes at Kingston Heath.
The existing 6 as their 18th. I mean, I really love that hole.
Yes.
I love that hole.
And the drone shot's going to look beautiful, and I reckon that's why they've done it, for the drone shot.
Walk up to the clubhouse, yeah.
But still, the fourth hole. Like at Kingston Heath, we played the Australian Open tees this week and last week for us. It was it's great fun because you go all the way back.
Who'd you play with?
I played with Andre Lorte.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And Angus on the 11th hole.
Angus O'Brien?
Angus. Oh, why have I forgotten his name? Yeah. Angus Baldwin. Sorry, Angus. He listens to this as well. So Angus. So again, if you know the golf course, the 11th. The new tee for the 11th of the Australian Open is next door to the 9th green.
Tough hole.
You hit it across the 10th. So
their reasoning for that is to try and stop players from carrying the bunker? Is that
just
right?
add some length and make it a little bit difficult. Yeah, players were just going straight over the bunker. I mean, they'd get their 5-wood out. They'd say, what's the yardage to get over the bunkers? It was 220 yards or whatever it is, 230 yards. They get their 5-foot out and land it softly on the other side and made it easy.
How'd you go?
I had the best drive of the day and had a full 5-iron in.
Ooh. So did you reach the bunkers?
To get level with the middle of it was 300 yards, so I was just slightly. I hit about 285 yards. Like I said, it was the best drive I hit all day.
And the other boys?
Andre just smoothed the driver down there and hit an 8-iron in. And Angus carried the trap on the left-hand side, which is a 300-yard carry. He'd drive a 9-iron. So there was no wind. There was no wind on the day. Yeah. But I was concerned about how long it was, but after seeing the reason I played with those two boys was to see what they would do.
Well, that's modern technology right there.
And it's not an issue. I think it's going to be a big improvement. So the 11th hole at Kingston Heath this year is a big improvement, but I don't know whether it's going to be I don't know what hole it is at the tournament, and that's why it's wrong. Let's play that finish at Kingston Heath. It's iconic. You got 15, you even got 14, 15, 16, just great holes. And it's a great, anyway, I won't bang on.
Okay.
Number 2, both our Australian amateurs going to stroke play.
I'll agree with you on this one.
You've got time, guys. You can just please reverse this decision and turn it into something special like we saw at Merion and where the US Amateur ladies was played. It's fabulous the way they do things. We don't have to do it on that scale, but we can do it on some scale and get people involved. And the number 1, and I've put it number 1 because it's got a happy ending. Nicholas?
Yes, I think I know what this is.
Turning both our Australian Opens into a mixed tournament was the biggest disaster our Australian Opens have ever seen in the history of Australian Opens, except maybe the 2002 Australian Open, which got turned into a 3-round event because somebody walked off in protest. Yeah, I don't know who that person was. But thankfully, those decisions have been reversed. And well done to everybody at Golf Australia because our Australian Opens are looking so much better now.
Yeah. It was an experiment. I understand why they did it with the sponsorship dollars and all that, but it wasn't didn't quite pan out as they were hoping.
If anybody's watching at Golf Australia, send all correspondence to dan@talkbirdie.com.au.
Righto. Well, we survived that. I don't think we need to call Denis Denuto.
That was okay.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Did all right.
But like I said, you can change some of those decisions and we get on with life.
There you go.
I promise no more top 5s about the bad ones.
Yeah.
Where are we heading to now?
Now we're going to the global result highlights. Nick, you got a few bits and pieces to run us through?
Yes, absolutely. We spoke about the US Amateur already. We don't need to worry about that. The FedEx St. Jude Championship, Scottie Scheffler, dominant victory set up by that 61 in the second round. 8-shot win over Siwoo Kim. He won $3.6 million. And also a bonus of $23 million. Thank you very much, because he's winning the number 1 season standings. I don't think anyone can overtake him.
No.
So
there would if there was match play at the end.
I actually wrote a little blog on my website about how I think it all should unfold. And if you're interested, just go to nickohern.com and it's all there.
I think they're listening, Nick, and I think you're going to get your way.
Maybe. Who knows? The Aussies... The good news for them is they all advanced through to the next event, the BMW Championship, which is the top 50. Adam Scott was tied 12th. Minwoo Lee tied 55th. Ryan Fox tied 58th. So not great weeks for them there. Rory McIlroy, 3rd last. But the good news was he showed up because the previous year
he didn't bother.
He didn't bother. His pre-tournament press conference wasn't great. It wasn't really building the excitement. No. But anyway, that's a whole other story.
There's been a little bit of I'm Rory McIlroy and you're not about him lately.
Yeah, well, he's won the Masters. Yeah. He's got the career Grand Slam. Yeah. I guess he can do whatever he wants.
You're not suggesting, Mark, that pro golfers have a level of arrogance about them, are you?
No.
Who would think?
No,
Who would think?
They are very giving, non-selfish types.
Yeah.
All right, on the DP World Tour, we had the Danish Golf Championships. This was a great story. It was a Cinderella story, out of nowhere, because a former greenskeeper, which he is. He's a former greenskeeper. The local Dane, Jeff Winter, had a 3-shot win over 5 players, including Rasmus Højgaard. It got really exciting for a while when Rasmus chipped in on 17 for an eagle to join the lead with Winter. But then he holds his own eagle putt from about 30 feet on 16 to win. So well done to him. Jason Scribner, best of the Aussies, tied for 21st. On the LPGA Tour, they had the Standard Portland Classic where it was tie domination.
Really?
1, 2, 3. They finished. The Thai golfers, Gino Tidikal, Chanati Wanasane and Arpichaya Ubol.
What did Tidikal shoot in the last round? Something crazy?
Shot 64.
Nice.
5 of the top 8 were ties.
Amazing.
They're doing some amazing things over there at the moment.
What's going on in
them in Japan. They're just they're dominating female golf.
What's happened to the Koreans? They've lost their way.
No, they're still around, but when other players are really going. The best of the Aussies was Robin Choi, tied for 32nd. I mentioned Whitney Hillier a little earlier. She was our touch of class. She actually finished 2nd at the Swiss Ladies Open. So well done to her, because she's had a long battle back from long COVID, which is never easy. Ooh. So she's on a medical exemption and did really well there. Champions Tour, Stuart Sink, another win for Kitchen. He defeated Miguel Angel Jimenez, first playoff hole. Miguel Jimenez.
How old is he now?
Do you know what he did on the final 9 holes?
No.
He was 8 under for the final 9. Birdied his last 6. to get into a playoff with Stuart Sink. My buddy Soren Kelson finished third. Well done, Soren.
He gets lots of mentions on this show.
He does.
For no reason.
We're going to have him on one day.
Yeah, well, that'd be good.
And as I've said, he is the most Australian Danish person I've ever met. So you're going to love the interview whenever we have him on. Steve Alker was the best of the Australasians, tied for 4th. Richard Green tied for 13th. Hayden Barron, top 10 at the Irish Challenge on the Hotel Planet Tour. And lastly, on the Sunshine Tour, Mr. Iceman himself, Austin Batista, got his second win over there. So well done,
That's
Austin.
amazing, isn't it?
He's number 2nd on the order of merit. So if he does well there, he can get onto the DP World Tour. It's all about pathways.
Good on you. Well, I'll tell you what, the kid, he has a crack. He's always travelling and he's always playing. I saw him at Kingston Heath the other day. It's funny. I was walking to my car and he was on the 18th and he was playing with a few boys I knew. And I didn't recognise him at first. And then I got to the car and I said, that was Austin Batista. I should have said hello.
You know who he took a picture of and sent it to me?
Who?
Him and Ray Mack, of course.
Oh, of course.
Our buddy Lee Trevino.
That's who he was playing with.
I was going to have a game with Austin, but I was away, so I couldn't do it. But
that's who it was.
Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
All right, feedback time for Southern Golf Club. And boys, we're going to start in a sec with some very bad news. We've got some legal issues we've got to deal with.
Oh, okay.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Talk Birdie feedback. Thanks to Southern Golf Club.
Okay. This has been brought to our attention by Jason, who lives in Ballarat in Victoria. Yeah. And Jason has said, guys, I've seen Kmart violating your IP and selling socks with your podcast name on it.
Ooh.
Have a look at that.
Oh, my God.
Talk Birdie to me.
Kiss my putt.
I like that.
This is
I
in
love
Kmart.
Kiss My Putt.
That's a good name, actually.
So we maybe do need to talk to Denis Denuto about this.
Hey, when we were looking for names, if I had thrown in Kiss My Putt,
I could have overtaken Talk Birdie.
That could have well and truly overtaken Talk Birdie to me.
Actually, Kiss My Putt is pretty funny.
Kiss My Putt. I love it.
Maybe we can make that a segment. Kiss My Putt.
Yeah.
I think that has the potential.
Oh, jeez.
Maybe that could replace your watch list. I mean, I don't know. So.
The Kiss My Putt watch list. Yeah, good.
Anyway, do we have a legal case, or do you think we're going to struggle with that one?
By the way, I've still got the watch list here, just in case.
You haven't brought your chalkboard.
Yeah, I know the chalkboard. I've put it under the stairs, and it's 2 weeks in a row.
Is it still the same players? We haven't caught
Bryson,
out anyone else.
Wyndham, and Patrick Reed, number 3. He'll be bumped. That's going to be a sad day when Patrick Reed is bumped.
He'll be
off
on before
the
too long again.
To me watch list.
He'll come back.
He may go to the top.
He may end up at the top.
All right, now we've got another controversial one here. This is from Cam. G'day, Nick, Mark and Dan. I had the pleasure of playing Kingston Heath recently. The course, the practice facilities are stunning.
Oh, good.
And then you get to the bunkers.
Oh.
Rakes supplied from Temu
Don't say this.
do not quite match the quality of a top 3 golf course in Australia. I hope for the Open they borrow some rakes from Royal Melbourne or PK. Why do the practice bunkers have great rakes and the course does not? Are they trialling different rakes? By the way, rake podcast talk has gone quiet. Maybe this will inspire it again.
So, the reason we've never been able to have a rake pod.
Oh, you're going to take people behind the curtain here, Nick.
I've been wanting to have a rake pod for so long now, even though in the beginning I resisted. But there is a reason, and it's great that they are trialling new rakes there, Mark.
I've been told we're going to get some new rakes soon.
Awesome.
Which opens the gates
to Rakepod.
That's exactly right.
Very good.
It almost sounds like, Mark, you were delaying Rakepod because the rakes at Kingston Heath maybe were...
They are fantastic rakes. Beautiful.
They do the job.
But the new ones are even better. Thank you.
Okay. Well, let's move on before Mark...
How much trouble are you going to get in this week?
Mate. Honestly, the gimme thing was enough. God, I couldn't walk it 3 steps without being accused of gimmies at my club at the moment.
Now, this is a really interesting question here from Mitchell. Yes. Hey, guys, what do you think is the future of golf instruction? And I asked this because recently I used AI to analyze a video of my swing, and it gave me very similar information to what I received in a lesson with a pro only a couple of days before, which I found really quite shocking.
Yeah.
Most pros have TrackMan, some have force plates, Temu training aids everywhere you look. But is AI going to take over this? Mitchell.
Interesting you should say that. Okay, so last week I did a little 2-hour session in the city in this, it's on 80 Collins Street, where they got this wellness centre.
Right.
And they've got 2 simulators in there.
Nice.
And everyone working in the building, they'd come down and I did a 2-hour thing where I'd give each person a 10-minute lesson as it went along.
Fantastic.
It was great, a lot of fun.
Are you charging for that?
Of course I was. One of the guys came in and he says, I've never played golf. And I saw him hitting balls because I got two, and he was hitting warming up. And I thought, oh, where do you play? He says, no, I've never played golf. He says, I've learnt via AI.
No way.
He's speaking to Claude or whoever it is, not Claude Harmon III, but Claude, one of those. And, he's working on the grip and the swing. And I tell you what, he's done a really good job. He actually was pretty impressive.
So what do? You video and you plug it into,
I guess,
Super Grok, and
I'm
Claude
assuming,
tells you what happens.
Yeah. So I have a feeling he's very much remember I was talking about the 4 ways of learning? He's very much an observational learner. Maybe he's part of the theory as well. But he did a really good job. And he's gripping the club pretty decent. We had to change a few things. But for a beginner, he was ahead of the game. He was ahead of the curve.
Imagine if it came back and you put your swing in there and because it says, hey, listen, you got to keep your head down and you got to keep your left arm straight and all these ridiculous things that don't work. Yeah, they don't work those, anyway. By the way.
So I do feel that there's AI is going to play a role, increasingly play a role, but it's not going to be any replacement for having a PGA pro to give you a hand and really get into the nuts and bolts.
It's going to give you the fundamentals like they did with this young gentleman, but to get to the next level, and I could already tell. Well, he's missing some key components, and but as it develops,
Bryson did it. Bryson did it at one of his events. Where was it the British Open or was it the US Open? Where he
that's right.
Might have been the US Open after he put his swing in there.
He didn't grok it. I think he did something else. He Gemini'd it. I think.
Gemini'd.
Okay, a message here from Trevor. This is on slow play, boys. It may be the players themselves who are slow, and this is inspired obviously by the Keegan chat that we had last week. But the real problem is the officials who do nothing about it. Surely they're not concerned with upsetting the players, are they? With all the money involved now in pro golf, I don't see any reason why each group cannot be allocated a timekeeper to help the pace maintain where it should be.
Shot clocks.
Shot clock, it was too expensive. They tried it at the Shot Clock Masters. Not one round was over 4 hours that week. Not one.
Well, the only other way to do it would be like they do at, say, the Open Championship. There's an R&A official with every group. I think US Open, the majors, they have an official with every group. That's one way to do it. So that's expensive as well.
I think what you do is you target players.
Yeah.
So honestly, if you and I were playing on tour, and we're not super quick, right? We're not Aberg or any of the real quick guys. We'd be in the middle of the pack. Mm-hmm. But you and I would know every single slow player.
Oh, of course.
Every single one of them. If we'd been on tour for 5 years.
As soon as you get drawn with someone, you go, oh, gosh, really?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Who was yours? I'll tell you who's my one. You passed on Glenn Joyner. If I ever got Glenn used to know that I hated slow play, and he, bless his heart, used to play slow on purpose to piss me off, and it worked. Yeah. Anyway, rest in peace, Glenn. But he was one that I had a tough time with, Glenn Joyner.
There is not a chance that we're going to let Nick, you get away with not answering that question.
No, I'm trying to think. I was racking my brain because I've played with so many slow players over the years.
Well, you think, but my point is that we know who the slow players are, so target them. It's really simple. And you might only need, that way, you might need 5 guys. One in the, we know this guy is slow. You go and stand on the first tee and you just walk inside the ropes with him and you target him. And then you come back later, after doing 3 holes and target him. And you just target the slow players and they would get the message very, very quickly. Yeah.
I just thought of it. Yeah. And it's not that the weird thing was when he got over the ball, he was quick. Yeah. But it took him forever to go over the ball because he'd have 12 practice swings. JB Holmes.
Yeah.
Oh, it was brutal. Yeah. Anyway.
How about our mate? How would Captain America go? Keegan.
Oh.
Keegan.
I never played with
would
Keegan.
Be the first person I would target.
With him.
I'd target him straight away. In fact, he would have a personal escort every time he played.
Him and Cantlay,
Cantlay. There's 2.
Brian Harmon.
3.
Away we go.
All right. It's all fixed.
Speaking of slow players, we've got a question here from Blair from Parabara Umu. Now, Blair has said, now you got to kind of give a bit of license for the technicalities of this question because it couldn't quite happen this way. But let's assume for the purpose of the question it could. If the last 4 players in order to make the cut were Fox, Aubert, Bradley, and Cantlay, What hole would Bradley and Cantlay be on when Fox and Aubert walked off 18?
Great question.
If they're playing in two balls?
You know that there's a great event in the Olympics when it's bike riding and they start on either side of it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh,
And
yeah,
they just
Could
go,
you do that? You start on one, start on 10?
You'd get one on 10, one pair on 10, one pair on 1, and let them go. I reckon.
I think I know, but you go.
Yeah, I reckon. Well, I think our boys.
The fast ones.
The fast ones.
They'd be done, and the other two would be on 12 for me.
I was going to say 14.
12, I think.
I think they'd have 4 holes to play.
It'd be, I reckon, 6.
Well, it would be a great
fun.
experiment.
Oh, it'd be so much fun.
What a fabulous what's the name of that? What's the name of that event? In the
it's a time
Olympics?
trial.
No. It's so good. And
the Valleydrome type
and there's
thing,
4 of them, and the last one, the last couple of laps, he drops off, and they only have to finish.
It's got a really cool name. It's not Pursuit, is it? No, that's not
Team
it.
Pursuit. Something like that, maybe.
Oh, it's going to bug me now.
It's the best of.
I
enjoy watching it. We'll get it in the
out.
break.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We've already had a break, mate.
Oh, sorry.
Well, we'll figure it out while the masterclass is on. Okay, Nick McCormack. A couple of comments here on Nick's passing a couple of weeks ago. Sarah has said, well said, boys. Nick was an absolute legend. He taught so much more than just golf. He was an incredible mentor. He taught people kindness, respect, and helped people pursue their passion for golf. He was a true gentleman and will be greatly missed by our family. And Warren Mercer has added, thank you, Nick and Mark, for your tribute. He was an unbelievable PGA member and human. It was my pleasure to work alongside him for 23 years at Grange. He was a gentleman that would help everyone on and off the course.
Well, thanks so much, guys, for getting in contact with us and sending those little tributes as well. It was our pleasure.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Absolute pleasure to do that.
Okay, that's the feedback for Southern Golf Club Masterclass. Whose is it today? I think it's your turn, Nick, isn't it?
My turn, and it's all about...
well, hang on. We saw something. You got to explain it.
Okay.
We saw last week. I haven't seen it to this extent, but apparently you used to do it a bit.
Oh, I did it all the time. It was my go-to.
Yeah.
So I call it the fairway finder, but on the DP World Tour at the Danish Open, Romain Langasque hit this little chippy driver. A chip driver. It almost went 300 yards, by the way, because I think he got a lot of roll out, which you can off this shot because there's no spin on the ball. And the commentators were going nuts, going, oh, no one does this. I've never seen this before. I'm thinking, hang on, I used to do it all the time. But I think it's...
I love that.
I think it's a great... it's a great shot to have in the bag, that fairway finder, I used to call it, because especially when you get on a short hole and you think, oh, I should hit an iron or a 3-wood or something like that. No, use the driver because it's the biggest head. It's the easiest club in the bag, but knowing how to hit it, that's the key, and that's what this masterclass is all about. But first of all, Dan, I think you should play the Romain Langasque video.
Is he going to do the same as yesterday?
Yeah, look how he's gripping it down the shaft. Watch this.
Look at that. That is magnificent. 157 miles an hour, which was identical to the one yesterday. It's a chip driver. Come on round. That's it. There's no player on the DP World Tour I've seen play that shot. Feet together, and it's like a little 50% bunt forward.
How good's that?
Good commentary.
Yeah, that was Mark Rowe. He's good.
So when you used to do it, were you at 50% or were you at 60%?
I was probably around 60 or 70, 60%. Something like that. But I used it around Coolum a lot.
Yeah.
I used it around Hilton Head. So all these guys are hitting irons off tee, and I'm hitting driver, and I'm knocking it past.
Is that what you were doing off 18? Were you doing a little chippy one off 18?
Whereabouts?
At Coolum?
No, I was flat out on that.
That
was a strong hole.
I was going to say.
No, I do it off. Remember the par 5 12th?
Yes.
And then the par 5 14th.
Oh yeah.
I did a little chip driver to just before it got over to the water. Remember that?
That was a perfect place to hit a chippy.
16.
16's a ripper?
Yeah. As a lefty, it was set up for a perfect little chip fade. Yeah, so anyway.
Makes a lot of sense.
Will would always go chip drive. I said, yep, perfect. So,
okay.
Anyway.
Well, that's coming up next.
Front 9, back 9, or eyeing the 19th hole, wherever you are in life, Hostplus can help you drive your retirement further. That's a plus.
At the Danish Open on the weekend,
Romain Langas hit a beautiful little chippy driver off one of the holes, and the commentators loved it because you rarely see that from tour pros these days. But I like to call it the fairway finder. It's a great shot to have in the bag. A couple of things to do with the setup are really important with this. Ball position is going to basically remain the same, off your front heel of your lead foot. Me being a lefty, it's off my right heel, right-handers off the left heel. Narrow the stance as though you're hitting a 3/4 wedge. That's really important. We want to keep those feet a little closer together, because what that's going to do is stop the sway, and it'll also restrict the swing a little bit. I want to feel as though I've got a 3/4 swing and I'm not going at the ball too hard. Lastly, we want to tee the ball down a little bit more. Normally with driver, we've got half the ball above the top of the club head. We're going to tee it down a little bit so it comes out nice and low. And then we're going to aim to hit a fade, because the fairway finder typically does fade a little. So for me, I'm going to aim up the right-hand side of this fairway here. Feet nice and close together, and I'm just pretending as though I've got a wedge in my hand and I'm hitting a little 3/4 wedge. Nice and smooth. Oh, beautiful. The fairway finder. It's such a good shot to have in the bag, especially on those short, tight holes. And rather than using a 3-wood or an iron, use the easiest club in the bag.
Well, that was thanks to the Golf Clearance Outlet, and I must commend you not only on your masterclass, but your editing skills.
Oh, thank you.
When has this entered the repertoire?
Well,
wow.
Yeah, I've started to get a little creative with the old content stuff.
Okay,
so anyway, yeah, I've lifted my game. You might have to now as well.
Now, I've got my $50 worth this month and typed in what event that was at the Olympics with at the velodrome.
Yes.
That's the team pursuit. Two teams with 4 riders start on the opposite sides of the velodrome and race against each other over 4 kilometres. The clock stops with the third rider from the team crosses the finish line. So they often peel off and just finish in 3.
So we said 2 players. What if we did a 4-ball? The 4 fastest versus the 4 slowest. It could be finishing on 9.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Because you would hit when ready, those guys. The quickies would hit when ready. There'd be gimmies in that group, Nick. There'd be gimmies in that group.
No
they would fly around.
Okay.
All right, folks, we'll catch you next time.
Talk Birdie to Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen. Live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. The Golf Clearance Outlet, they beat everyone's prices. BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Better, ahead of the game. And Hostplus, they can help you drive your retirement further. Now that's a plus. Issued by Hostplus Pty Limited. This is general advice. Consider the PDS and TMD on our website before deciding. Wherever you listen or watch, we'd love you to subscribe and share the pod with a friend. Talk Birdie to Me's executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media. Sound design by Daryl Misson at loudzebra.com. And now from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, that's been Talk Birdie to Me.